So welcome to our panel, navigating the troubled waters of Yemen investments. And today we will talk about some market trends, about the industry, how the industry has changed, and we will discuss the tips for fundraising in 2022. So I hope it will be very useful and helpful for game developers. And I'll start with some introduction of myself. So my name is Maria, and I'm one of the co-founders and general partners of the Games Fund. And the Games Fund is a 50 million real estate VC fund. So we specifically focus on video games investments. So we invest in developers, publishers, or infrastructure tech companies related to games. And the fund is based in Delaware. And it's a pleasure to meet you all and be here. And I'm giving the floor to my amazing colleagues. So please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Enis. I'm with Baykal Global. We're a retail agnostic fund. No, we're not a gaming fund, but we do a lot of gaming investments, and we've done a couple of last year. It's a 70 million euro vehicle that we invest into countries in Europe and Turkey, hoping to globalize the countries that we invest into.
Hi, it's Bilgehan Baykal. So I'm the chairman of Games United, which is a venture builder model in which we build up, recruit and support gaming studios. So in a holding model, which is quite unique in Turkey.
It's Ismet from Ludus Ventures. So like very similar to the Games Fund, we are also early stage gaming VC located in Istanbul, Turkey. We are a $30 million fund, and again we are mostly focusing on pre-seed and seed stage. So yeah, that's a good session.
Yes, so my first question will be about the whole market, global market scene. So many expert claims that we are already in recession, and we can see and read about massive layoffs from video game companies. We can see how multiples of gaming companies have dropped down, and of course this all kind of increases the uncertainty level for investors. So how this whole global market situation has influenced your investment activity? So Brother Enis, you can start.
Perfect. So first of all, if everyone says this is a recession, probably it's not a recession, that's what I think. So I like to be an ever-optimist and I think that this is not a recession. As for the gaming companies, obviously with more competition, rising CPIs, rising payback periods, etc., return on ad spend that Gökşen has been an issue for the past 2 years. This is nothing new. What's new is now the money is much more expensive, so companies had to cut back on marketing budgets, have more healthier payback periods, etc., which I think is a good thing for the companies that are based in this region, because the further you move away from liquidity, the further you move away from the US, where there was the liquidity, the more of a lag there is in terms of impact. And although there were large sums of capital being raised all around the world, it was less so the case for Eastern Europe and Turkey. And I feel like the companies that are based here had already had much more healthier, sustainable unit economies compared to their Western counterparts. So it's a big disadvantage for them and yet an advantage for the companies that are based out of here.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyone wants to add something or we can move on? Yeah, okay. So I think that one of the markets that was influenced the most is the mobile game development market. So basically, mostly because of IDFA restrictions, because of ban of interstitial ads in games. And I think it's very relevant to the Turkish market because it's very dominated by hyper-casual development. So do you think that investments in mobile game developers has become much more risky? And if yes, how do you manage this risk?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the cards are being reshuffled because of many reasons. I mean, so if you look from a pastoral analysis, I mean, so there are a couple of things ongoing. I mean, the war between Russia and Ukraine, the crisis started in China, various reasons, financial crisis, aging population. So the pandemic is not still over, and we are also seeing that the blockchain environment is transforming, and also we are seeing that the device makers are making significant changes, Apple and Google Play. So a lot of things are happening at the same time. In Turkey now we are seeing some kind of a crisis in which the big publishers are stopping the agreements between hyper-casual studios. It also happened to us because I mean, 4 of our studios we were working with Halic, so we have stopped the contract mutually, and it's happening for many studios also. Much of the hyper-casual guys do that because Turkey is very, let's say, the hyper-casual is very dominant gameplay in Turkey. So what we are seeing is that there should be kind of new actions which should be taken. It's a little bit risky. Because hyper-casual, it's easy to start, easy to develop, but the chance to make a hit is difficult. So what we are seeing is that I guess self-publishing will be popular. That's necessary. Combining the forces of different hyper-casual studios who have stronger arms is necessary. And I guess the most crucial thing, the third thing, is that the blockchain initiatives which are going to be supportive of hyper-casual is crucial. Because the traditional, I mean, one studio develops a game and the publisher publishes it. It's in 1 in 1,000 games, try to see it as 0.2 CPI, try to catch 40% retention. It's not so easy, so things need to transform. So we are taking our actions according to that, so we need to do self-publishing. That's the action.
But do you think that hyper-casual developers will be kind of moving to the mid-core space?
It's not so easy, because the mentality is different. So what we suggest is that they need to come together. Like we have engaged United, we are more or less about 60 people. If one studio faces one talent, in the 3D art, for example, so there are a lot of young people, but also finding the talent is also not easy, it's not cheap. So then you need to collaborate. You need some kind of a co-petition. So I guess new ways of collaborating should be done. That's my idea.
And speaking about the general investment strategy, so where do you see the highest potential right now in terms of investments, in terms of genres and niches? So what are you looking for right now?
I just want to add a couple of comments on the previous question as well, because it's one of the most important topics we discussed here, right? So if you ask the mobile gaming industry getting riskier, I would definitely say no. So all the factors you said, like IDFA depreciation, CPI inflation, is the reality, and like next week Google is banning intrusive ads, so that's fast, right? But like look at 5 years ago, every single year there's something happening. The question is whether you can adapt or not. And the one thing that I want to refer is like, as a key opinion leader, including myself, we always like to talk about bad things, right? Because it has media value. But nobody talks about how advanced the industry is getting it, right? Like 5 years ago, we were only getting installs from a static vendors, right? Now we can simply put game inside playlists. So, of course, there are challenges, but also we should also know that the industry is evolving and developing itself. So that's one thing I think really important. For our point of view, the most important thing is, can you, as a gaming startup, can you address these challenges correctly and put the suitable solutions for that one? And if the answer is yes, you are still investable, and our investment criteria do not change. We are looking the same way what we were looking like last year. Only the one thing that is said, like risk appetite, of course, decreased because money is more expensive. But again, it's a matter of whether you can address the problems correctly and building the right solutions around it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And speaking about the trends on the market, so do you see any new trends in terms of, like, let's say, genres or some particular mechanics in games that are popular right now?
I can also add some couple of comments on that. I think like every VC should comment on that question based on their investment in different parts. For example, as Ludus, we are investing in startups who has marketability and scale. So the trends that we are following is based on that. And if I look what's happening in the industry like IDFA, CPI inflated, I would say categories will evolve a lot, and we are seeing a lot of indications about it. So if you look like casual categories 3 or 4 years ago, nobody was using ads, but right now we are seeing 50-50 ad, 50 ad, 50 ad. So that's one thing. And one additional trend that everybody is seeing right now is combining the CPI advantage meta into a very strong core who may drive a long-term extension. So that would be like 2 trends that we are foreseeing in our program.
Okay, and let's talk about fundraising in 2022. So do you think that the kind of fundraising process has changed, and what does it take to get funded in 2022? So what you're looking for in terms of founding team, does the team have to have some traction in their product? So how do you make these decisions in 2022 if you like or you will not invest in the game in the company?
For us, we didn't invest in hyper casual, so I think that's a different piece and requires a different way of looking at things. But for casual and highly casual, for all of our investments in general, actually, it's a team bet. So we only build conviction on the team, and everything else we do, whether that's looking at the product, the metrics, the competitive landscape, etc., it's more or less right review. So we try not to build conviction on all of those things, but try to make sure that there's nothing that's really bad on those things from over the side of you. So it's still a team bet. But talking about Ismet's comments, I think because of the rising CPIs and how CPIs became very much important, we're also looking for marketing talent within teams. It's not only the game design and the product team and the developer team. The marketing team became ever more important. I think that's also the case for Halic Casual Studios, because with the buffer of the publishers almost eroding, the downside protection is not there anymore, hence you need self-publishing, which again means marketing skills. So I think that kind of became more important than it was 2 years ago. But then again, it's a team bet. You only want to invest into teams who have done it before. You don't want to invest into a team who are just doing it for the first time. A lot of our investments have been highly casual, so the 50-50 split that you just mentioned. And because of that, we try to invest into more people who are going from casual towards highly casual, vice versa.
So probably some other red flags that founders should be aware of and should try to avoid them.
Yeah, but there are lots. So like, if you talk about why VCs don't invest, I think we can like 100 reasons to invest. But I think it's a reflection of what it said, right? It's always the red flags. The majority of red flags is actually related with the co-founders' core competencies. So I would say the profile of it, because again, like we're talking about the business, right? Solid business, but at the end we're investing in people. And every VC, every team has sort of their internal discipline, internal like competency set and culture. So I would say the most of the red flags, again, still related to the co-founders, because the co-founder related red flags is the one thing that you cannot change at all. Because like businessman, you can fix it. Run out of money, you can write additional check. Correct, wrong strategy is to be correct. But if the co-founder are not communicating properly, or some different gaps in their core competencies, that's the red flag for us.
And well know that when you invest in early stage solutions, often subjective, it's not, if not always. So how should the founders evaluate how much money they need, and what would be the fair valuation for their startup? Probably Enis, you can comment on this.
I think if there's money on the table, take it. That's what we have told for the past 6 years. You should definitely take whatever money is on the table, especially in places like Turkey where capital crunch can come suddenly, you never know when. So it's more of a question of what you can pull off rather than what you need. So you can get whatever you can pull off. And in terms of valuations, I think obviously the valuation is just up in the clouds, up in the sky. There's no good way to look around it. And it's really supply and demand. The more investor appetite you can get, the much higher valuation you will get. So all these teams were able to garner interest from a lot of the global gaming funds. There's only a handful, maybe 10 of those, or maybe a dozen max, are able to get these high valuations early on, and the ones who can aren't able to get them. But if you're doing anything highly casual, you really want to start with at least 2 million, less than that. I think $1 million is just too small, you can't even try. A, you need a couple prototypes to test, and then B, for the test to be representative of a larger scale, you need some marketing budget so that you're going to be able to raise that next, $7 to $10 million round. So our sweet spot has been, for whatever arbitrary reason, about a $2 million round. And you don't want to give a big chunk of the company, so that entails a valuation of, let's say, 8 to somewhere between 20.
One thing I can add, we are not, for some point, to some extent, I agree with İsmet and Enis, but the core team is not the only value we are looking at. Because if you look at the Turkish gaming ecosystem, it's all from sourcing from the big investments are all from one company. So many teams spread. So we are now looking at, we are seeing that the gaming is a mediation environment as metaverse is approaching. So the entertainment content is converging. So gaming is a starting for that. So we are seeing that Netflix is going into the gaming, Amazon is going there, TikTok is going there, even we are seeing Huawei is going there. So we are seeing that IP is going to be very important for convergence. So the three major things we are looking is that the team is okay, that's important of course, if they achieve in the past or not, but we are also looking at the business model, the data, how they are evaluating the data. Do they have any expertise in user acquisition? Do they have any expertise in tool? Do they have any expertise in machine learning? And the third one is IP. Can it converge to animation? Can it converge to NFT? So can we do any music project with these teams? So that's how we do. I agree with if I correct my guys, I'm impressed, but also these are the three other factors.
Yeah, and I think that for any partnership, it's crucially important to have the right partner, to have this chemistry between partners. And how should the founder understand that this is a match with investors? So what kind of questions the founder should ask to get this understanding? Or probably Ismet can.
Yeah. Like for my point of view, I love collaboration because every VC has different competencies. And like one thing to add, like if there's a competition between VCs, like there are like fellow VCs in here as well, always founder wins. So I'm just trying to avoid competition across VCs, and I always want to go collaboration way because everybody puts different things on the table. For example, we co-invested with you guys in Hypebusters. Like we are good at like marketing and how to scale again. You guys have extensive information and experience about product management. So when we mentor board meeting, value is huge. So I think that kind of smart structures founders need to do. In terms of like what question they should ask, probably I would ask to a VC why they want to invest in gaming. The answer of that question will tell a lot for that VC, whether they're like passionate about it, they're like have ultimate commercial outcomes, expectations from that vertical. So yeah, I would ask why you want to get involved in gaming and why you want to invest in this vertical will tell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add on that. In terms of testing which investor to get or giving responsibility to your investor, one thing that the investor should help you with is fundraisability. I think the founder's role is to remove the obstacles in front of the company, and one thing that the investor can help is with the access to the downstream capital when the right time comes. So first, while you're trying to qualify your investor, ask who he or she knows in the gaming space. Let's say they said Felix, Griffin, Baldwin, Telemetries, whoever the case may be, then ask for a couple introductions. Is she or he able to do those introductions? Test it. Give responsibility to the investor and let him or her fail if they're going to fail eventually.
But do you think it's a good idea to ask the potential investor to make introduction before this investor invested in the company?
Like the thing is, at least with myself, if I'm convicted enough that I'm going to invest into a founder, I'm convicted enough to introduce him or her to this other larger VC. And because of the trust that I've built over the years with that, whoever the VC is, with this larger VC, I know that they're not going to steal the deal from me because we co-invest multiple times and cooperate a lot. And it really adds value because we want to get deep opted investors on board so that we can do your $8 to $10 million round in a matter of weeks, not months. And that's critical while we're trying to launch a global launch for a game.
There are several engagement levels for investors in the industry, right? So there are some financial investors who just give money and forget about investments. There are some strategics who kind of very involved in all decisions in the company. So what's the best model for the founders? What do you think?
I mean, so the best age, according to many research has been done, I mean, the best startup age to make a successful company is 40 to 45. So it's not only for the gaming, because gamers are very, very young people. So if I am the founder of a startup company in gaming industry, I will look for the corporate expertise. Do these people have any expertise, not in investment? Investing is something else. Have they worked in any corporate company? Coca-Cola, IBM, HP, or in local company? Because gaming is also, it's a software business, basically. You develop a software which is full of entertainment and arts, but basically it's again something you are trying to sell B2C, or in some examples it's not B2B. So you lack this information. You're 18-year-old game developer. You don't have any understanding of KML. You don't know anything about cash flow. You don't know anything about PR or legal. So you got the money. What are you going to do with it? How can you manage? How can you survive? You don't know how to expense it. You don't know anything about tax. You don't know anything about gaming. That's what you are facing every day. So getting the money is not the major thing. I guess the biggest thing is receiving the corporate expertise. So I would ask that question.
Mm-hmm. And in case founders have an opportunity to start their own company with their own funds, probably they have friends and family who can invest in their company, do you think they still need to seek for pre-seed round, or is it a good idea to start with a bootstrap? Probably answer is not.
I hate bootstrap, do you like bootstrap?
Like in game, 100% I hate it. So like, of course,
this is someone else's money. Why do you use your own money? It's actually called the risk money that you have to risk. You know, it's easier to spend someone else's money. Just go do that. Plus, from an opportunity perspective, who fundraises? Like in any company, not just in gaming, why do you want to fundraise? It's because you feel the opportunity is so good that you want to accelerate time. Rather than building the product in a year, you want to build it in 3 months. Rather than getting 10 million downloads in 4 months, you want to do it in 1 month. Whatever the reason may be, if you feel like the opportunity is great enough, believe me, your money is not enough. You don't have that much money. No one has. Elon Musk doesn't have that much money.
Like 100%. Like I can deep down please comment a little bit more because that's a very good point of view for that question. So the game is quite different compared to other verticals. Right? If you're like doing a SaaS business, like you can like just wait a couple of months if you're out of cash and like try to fundraise again. But in gaming, besides that, let's assume that you're doing cash deposit, right? You bootstrap, your methods are incredible, and you need to go into your own, but you don't have money for it, right? Probably a lot of like live studios or Supersonic is going to like do a very similar game in 2 weeks. And
so sad, you're making me cry. So sad.
But it's the reality. So, like, of course, bootstrapping is really good, but you need to have some confidence. If you need to have additional funding, you can get it easier. That's one thing. Also, second thing is, it's a lot of partnership, right? If you don't know anybody in the industry, or let's say that you have like some couple of years in gaming studios with an experience, you will need a lot of networking opportunities, right? For example, like simple thing, let's talk about, you want to unlock credit card from Facebook. They will return you, at least you spend them like $40 or $50,000 per month. So you will definitely need that kind of networking and sourcing skills as well. So of course it's doable, especially in hyper-casual SPCs. But I'm not a fan of bootstrapping in gaming, and I think Prestige is a really good thing for a co-founder to do in mobile gaming.
And probably we're almost out of time, probably the last question. So do you think it's possible to raise remotely? Since there are so many kind of funds outside Turkey and they are located in different parts of the world, so do you think it's still possible to raise remotely for startups?
Gaming, definitely. I think most of the big rounds in Turkey and Europe are done remotely rather than in person. Definitely.
And do you think it's possible to work remotely as well, and the efficiency is still at the same level, or it's suffered?
No, I think it's suffered. And there was a poll on LinkedIn where they asked YC founders, which company are you most scared of? The company that actually goes to the office every day, or your competitor with a remote team? And like 85% of the people were scared of the company that was going to the office every day. I'm more of that mentality. I think going to the office is where these sparks and rules of creativity actually do happen. If you're looking for efficiency, go remote. If you're looking for creativity and sudden jumps, you need to be in the same room.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for your answers. It was very helpful and interesting, I hope. And hope to see you soon.
Thank you.